So, lads, the WNBA have done it. They have done it. They have officially fined Sophie Cunningham every podcast episode.
Ever wondered what happens when the WNBA tries to punish a player for speaking her mind? Sophie Cunningham just proved that getting fined for being outspoken only makes you more powerful and more famous. You'll want to see how the league's attempt to control her is backfiring in the most unexpected way. How did she get there? By doing something most players would shy away from speaking out. Her first fine, a 400 slap on the wrist, didn't come from fighting or unsportsmanlike conduct on the court.
I'm officially 3 for 3 on being fined by the WNBA.
Holy sh! For this? For the pod? Again?
They didn't like my comments on Paige Becker's.
No way!
I didn't even say anything bad.
On the quick whistle?
No, it came from something far more unexpected, talking about the game off the court. Specifically, talking about the refs in a podcast. Now, you'd think getting fined would silence most players, but not Sophie. Instead, that fine made her a viral sensation. Her jersey sold out overnight. Her TikTok following skyrocketed from 300,000 to over 1 million. Suddenly, brands couldn't get enough of her, and fans who had never even watched a WNBA game were Googling her name. The WNBA thought they were putting a muzzle on Sophie, but in reality, they had just handed her the most effective marketing campaign she could have asked for. Each fine only made her more marketable, more famous, and, as crazy as it sounds, richer. And Sophie knew it. She wasn't upset. She was laughing, because she understood the game better than anyone. The league's attempt to punish her. Sophie's latest fine is almost laughable.
Paige to death. Do not get me wrong. I think, I think she's a hell of a player and, would love to play with her one day. But those refs were giving her every freaking whistle last night. You literally couldn't touch her. Couldn't touch her. And that shit is so annoying to me.
200, 300, or even 500 for one simple comment that Paige Becker's has a good whistle. That's right, you heard me. Sophie praised Paige's ability to draw fouls, and the WNBA responded by slapping her with another fine. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't the first time a player has spoken out about referees, and yet Sophie is the one paying the price. She stood in front of a podium and called Caitlin Clark's whistle special, meaning the refs were giving her calls no one else would get. No fine. Kelsey Plum. She's paused entire press conferences to whine about bad officiating, and nothing happened. Even Stephanie White threw a fit when her players nearly body-slammed Caitlin Clark. Again, no fine. But Sophie, for simply stating that Paige gets every whistle, finds herself writing a check to the league. What's going on here? Sophie's not stupid. She sees the clear double standard. It's not just about the refs.
Whistle last night. You literally couldn't touch her. Couldn't touch her. And that shit is so annoying to me. And if you're gonna do that, then give it to our guards. I just hate the inconsistency.
It's about controlling the narrative. The league doesn't like the fact that Sophie's not afraid to call out inconsistencies in the game, and they're trying to make an example out of her. But Sophie isn't backing down. She knows exactly what they're trying to do. This fine wasn't about correcting her behavior. It was about silencing a voice they don't want to hear. And the more they try to shut her up, the louder she gets. Here's the kicker. Sophie Cunningham isn't losing when she gets fined. Every fine, every slap on the wrist from the WNBA just boosts her profile. The league thinks they're punishing her, but what they're really doing is giving her the best free marketing money can't buy. Let's break it down. Her first fine was $400. You'd think that would hurt, right? But instead, it was the best thing that ever happened to her career. That fine turned into a viral moment. Sophie became the WNBA's bad girl, the one they couldn't control. And you know what happened next. Her jersey sold out faster than anyone could have predicted. Her social media exploded, and brands started flocking to her, TikTok following. Boom, from 300,000 to over 1 million practically overnight. She wasn't just in the conversation, she was the conversation. A few $100 this time. This time for something that wasn't even remotely controversial, talking about refs. And what happened? Same thing. The media picked it up, her followers grew, and Sophie landed even more deals. Every fine was a tiny price to pay for a massive return. Sophie isn't just paying fines, she's turning them into business opportunities. The best part, she knows the game better than the league. She sees the pattern and laughs because she's outsmarting them at their own game. Every time they find her, it's like they're handing her a paycheck. They think they're punishing her, but Sophie's turning those fines into cash, clout, and influence. While the WNBA might have hoped to silence her, they're doing the exact opposite.
We were talking about our first week, what people had to say. Well, the WNBA fined me for talking about the refs.
No!
Like, everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like, I don't know. And you finding me $500 is not going to do shit.
You got fined for episode 1?
Dude, they fined me $1,500. I'm like, what? I'm like, this is just the beginning. It's like, you're kidding.
No way. It's cool for the pod, but that's kind of a bummer. Do they put like, this is why you're being fined and this is why it's this much? Or is it like, hey, quit talking shit on us, Venmo us like $1,500?
No. What happens is they email our GM. She pulls me aside and she goes, come here, Soph, I have to talk to you. And this was in like front of everybody. And I was like, what did I do now? And she just smiled and she goes, hey, they're going to fine you again. I was like, I even told them, I even credited them that their job was hard. Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy. I did say that. And I said that I would not be good at it. Like, look at the whole picture. What are we doing? And then I'll get fined for that. And then I'll get fined for this. And then the fines continue. Yeah.
They're making her bigger, bolder, and louder than ever. Now let's talk about Paige Bueckers, the WNBA's golden child. While Sophie Cunningham's fines are piling up, Paige seems to glide through the league without a care in the world. No fines, no reprimands, just superstar treatment. It's like she's untouchable. The double standard couldn't be more glaring. Take a look at Paige's treatment on the court. She literally shoved Sophie in a game, not once, but twice. And both times, the referee blew the whistle and called a foul on Sophie. That's right. Paige shoves Sophie, and Sophie gets penalized. You can't make this stuff up. But the WNBA isn't about to punish Paige for that. Instead, they protect her like she's royalty. It's clear, Paige is the league's favorite, and nothing's going to change that. Her fans, many of whom seem to think she can do no wrong, are treated like a mob of loyal followers, ready to attack anyone who dares criticize their queen. And the league loves it. This is where the hypocrisy comes into play. Paige's fans cheer when Sophie gets hurt. They flood comment sections with bizarre takes.
They are not protecting their players. Nobody's going to watch this if you're not protecting your star players. You're not protecting your players, period. But particularly your star players. No one's going to watch this. People are watching it because of Caitlin Clark, and then even more because of Sophie Cunningham. And if you're going to just hang them out to dry, then, good heavens. And then what? Reese is out. Angel Reese is out too. Is she coming back to WNBA? That's a big question. Nobody's going to watch this anymore because they don't protect their players. It's a worthless organization. They have no idea how to protect their players. But, oh man, they're going to bitch and moan. Well, you better pay us the money. For what? You can't even protect your star players that draw the eyeballs. Now nobody's watching. Nobody's going to watch to see the star players sitting out with injuries because of poor treatment and poor officiating on the sides. Nobody's going to watch that. That's so dumb. I hate it because, man, they had a hot streak.
Praising Paige for every win, no matter how controversial. And the WNBA, they're right there, encouraging it. Why? Because Paige brings clicks. She draws in the crowds, and the WNBA's all too happy to protect her, no matter what. But here's the twist. Sophie, in all her troublemaker glory, is starting to see more support from neutral fans who recognize the blatant favoritism. Sophie's not just challenging the league's control, she's becoming a voice for fairness, and it's making her more marketable by the day. The more the WNBA tries to silence her, the louder she gets, and every fan who supports Paige inadvertently amplifies Sophie's reach. It's a twisted, ironic marketing machine, one that the league created by protecting Paige and punishing Sophie. Here's the thing the WNBA doesn't seem to realize. Every fine they hand Sophie Cunningham is a massive win for her, and a huge loss for them. The league thinks they're punishing her, but what they're really doing is handing her the keys to the kingdom. Every fine fuels her notoriety, every punishment just makes her stronger. It's a business model that's working in Sophie's favor, and the WNBA is too blinded by their need for control to see it. Think about it. If the WNBA really wanted to stop Sophie from talking, the simplest solution would be to stop fining her. Because no fine means no viral moment. No viral moment means less attention. No attention means fewer brand deals and lower engagement. Sophie isn't just playing the WNBA's game, she's outsmarting them. Every time they fine her, they turn her into a household name, and she's cashing in on it. The WNBA has built its own trap. They think they're silencing Sophie, but in reality, they're just feeding her the publicity she needs to thrive. Instead of suppressing Sophie, they're giving her the platform to speak louder, grow bigger, and gain more influence. Sophie is laughing all the way to the bank because she knows the pattern by now. Fines come. Sophie gets more famous. The WNBA gets more flack. and it's a cycle that's only helping Sophie's brand. The more they try to put her in her place, the more they elevate her. And as long as they keep finding her, they're just building her empire, even if they don't realize it. While Sophie Cunningham is raking in brand deals and followers from her finds, there's another star in the WNBA who's getting a completely different kind of treatment. She's the league's biggest draw, the one who's packing arenas and putting the WNBA on the map in a way no other player has done in years. But here's the catch. The league isn't exactly rolling out the red carpet for Caitlyn. In fact, they're doing the opposite. Caitlyn, despite being the face of the league, gets absolutely no protection from the refs. Think about the time she literally had her eye poked during a game. She walked off the court, holding her face in pain, and yet, what happened? She was called for a technical foul. Let that sink in. Caitlin Clark gets her eye poked and penalized for it. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers, with her superstar status, seems to get the benefit of every call, every time. And it's not just one incident. Caitlin is hammered in every game, grabbed, shoved, and fouled, yet the referees seem to turn a blind eye. But when she so much as raises an eyebrow, a tech gets thrown her way. It's like the WNBA's biggest star is treated like an afterthought, while Paige and other protected players get every call in their favor. And Sophie Cunningham, she's calling it out. The hypocrisy here is insane. Paige Bueckers can jaw with refs all day, throw her hands in the air, and nothing happens. But Sophie, for simply pointing out that Paige gets the golden whistle, finds herself slapped with a fine. Where's the fairness? Where's the protection for the league's most valuable players? The WNBA's double standards couldn't be more glaring, and fans are noticing. The WNBA's struggles go beyond the players themselves. The media and fans play a huge part in shaping the league's image. And right now, the WNBA isn't winning in either department. Let's start with the media. Instead of challenging the league's glaring inconsistencies, some reporters act more like PR agents for the WNBA than actual journalists. Take Scott Agnes and others covering teams like The Fever. Rather than asking the tough questions about the WNBA's treatment of its stars, or why certain players are protected while others are punished, they go along with the narrative the league wants to push. The favoritism towards certain players is brushed under the rug. Fans aren't dumb, they see through it all. And as much as the WNBA wants to push a "everything is fine" narrative, independent creators and content creators are the ones who are catching the truth and exposing it. The rise of independent voices is a direct result of the league's mismanagement. Fans who are fed up with the lack of accountability in the league are turning to content creators who are unafraid to call out the issues with the WNBA's policies. These creators are questioning the blatant favoritism and bringing to light the hypocrisy surrounding players like Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark. They're the ones gaining traction, while mainstream media outlets remain largely silent on these critical issues. The WNBA thought they could silence Sophie with fines and negative press, but they've actually given her the perfect platform to build a brand. The more the league tries to control the narrative, the more they feed Sophie's rise, and the media and fans are playing right into it. The league's lack of transparency and unwillingness to address the double standards only drives more people to independent voices, and that's a problem the WNBA can't ignore. The more you look at it, the more obvious it becomes. The WNBA has no clue how to handle Sophie Cunningham, and it's costing them. What they thought was a way to shut her up has turned into an empire-building strategy. Every fine, every attempt to punish Sophie is simply feeding into her rise. They're handing her a platform, a microphone, and a spotlight she might never have had otherwise. And in the end, it's not just Sophie who benefits, it's the league that looks like the fool. The WNBA is trying to control Sophie, trying to mold her into the problem player. They can scapegoat and silence, but instead, they've created their own worst nightmare. She's laughing at the fines, she's posting more TikToks, and she's building an empire off the very thing the league thought would stop her. Each fine is a stepping stone, turning Sophie from a player in the league into an icon. She's becoming the face of rebellion, of standing up against the system, and people are eating it up. If the WNBA really wanted to punish Sophie, they'd stop fining her. No fine, no viral moment, no boost to her brand. But the league can't resist. They're so focused on asserting their control, they're blind to the fact that they're only helping Sophie grow. The more they try to suppress her, the more they fuel her rise. In the end, the WNBA's biggest mistake wasn't finding Sophie Cunningham. It was failing to recognize what they were really doing. By trying to control Sophie, the league has inadvertently turned her into the most marketable player on the roster. They think they're punishing her, but they're only making her a household name. Every time they find her, they're putting a spotlight on her, and that's something they can't take back. But it's not just Sophie they're damaging, it's the league itself. The WNBA's credibility is on the line when they continue to play favorites and ignore the glaring double standards. They've created an environment where players like Paige Buckers can do no wrong, while others, like Sophie, get punished for speaking out. They see the favoritism, and the league's inability to protect its stars, like Caitlin Clark, only makes it worse. When the league doesn't protect its top players from fouls, injuries, and biased officiating, it's not just bad for the players, it's bad for the league's long-term health. As the league gets caught up in trying to control its players, they forget the most important thing, the fans. People watch sports for the drama, for the excitement, and for the personalities. When the WNBA favors certain players while punishing others for speaking their minds, it alienates the very people who keep the league alive. In the grand scheme of things, the WNBA's efforts to control Sophie Cunningham have only made her more powerful. Every fine, every attempt to silence her has only fueled her rise. The league thought they could punish her, but in reality, they've handed her the perfect platform to build a brand. Sophie has turned their mistakes into opportunities, turning fines into viral moments and creating an empire out of their mismanagement. The WNBA's biggest failure isn't just the favoritism they've shown to players like Paige Buckers. It's the way they've mishandled Sophie's situation from the start. Instead of letting her be herself, they tried to stifle her, but all they did was make her louder and more marketable. Every time the league slapped a fine on her, it only added fuel to the fire. Sophie's not just surviving in the WNBA. She's thriving, and she's doing it on her terms. Now, Sophie Cunningham is a name everyone knows, whether you love her or hate her. She's become a symbol of defiance, of speaking out when the system tries to silence you. And through it all, she's turned what should have been punishments into moments of massive growth. As long as the WNBA keeps trying to control the narrative, Sophie will continue to thrive, turning every fine into free marketing and every controversy. The WNBA may have thought they were punishing Sophie Cunningham, but they've done something far worse. They've made her untouchable. Her empire is growing, and there's nothing the league can do to stop it now. So, the question remains, will the WNBA ever learn from its mistakes, or will they continue to dig their own grave while Sophie Cunningham thrives? Time will tell, but one thing is clear. Sophie isn't going anywhere, and the WNBA's mismanagement only makes her stronger.